besides being the 43rd President of the United States. George W. Bush is a successful businessman who knows how to increase his fortune. But have you ever stopped to think about how this politician lives? In this video, you will find out everything about George W. Bush's luxurious life. Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notifications. Check the option all. But you have to do that in less than 5 seconds. You got it? And if you can, write in the comments #AllAboutSubscribe. Alright, let's get started. Career. Born in 1946 in the city of New Haven, Connecticut, George Walker Bush, better known as George W. Bush, was a famous president of the United States. As the eldest son of former President George H.W. Bush and grandson of Senator Prescott Bush, George W. Bush earned a bachelor's degree in history from Yale University. Slowly thereafter, upon turning 20, he decided to enter the military, flying warplanes in the Texas Air National Guard, and after being honorably discharged, he returned his attention to academic studies, receiving an MBA from Harvard Business School in 1975. George W. Bush then moved into the oil and gas industry, then assisted his father's presidential campaign in the 1980s. As early as the 1990s, he decided to run for election as governor of Texas and was elected as the 46th governor of the state from 1995 to 2000. Later, George W. Bush ran for President of the United States and was elected as the 43rd President of the country, a position he held from 2001 to 2009. His mandate was marked by conflicts, and it is no wonder that he became known as a war president. He led the country through difficult times, most notably the September 11, 2001 attack, which led him to take measures such as the invasion of Afghanistan and the Department of Homeland Security creation. And after serving 2 terms as president, George W. Bush moved to Texas, where he began to pursue other projects and hobbies while leading a quiet life with his family. Real estate in Texas. George W. Bush is a powerful man who does not skimp when it comes to choosing good properties to live in. After leaving the presidency of the country, he chose to settle in the state of Texas, where he purchased a ranch near Crawford in 1999, known as Prairie Chapel Ranch. Almost 1,600 acres in size, the former president's ranch is a true natural paradise, full of lovely surroundings for sophisticated living in contact with nature, something George W. Bush loves, having been seen several times walking around and even doing work on the property. There is a wealth of settings amidst the former president's land, such as lakes for boating, trails surrounded by plants, 90 acres of landscape trees planted, and even a helicopter hangar. In addition, the extensive size of the property also allows the former president to hold cycling activities connected to his institute to raise funds. The main ranch house was designed by David Heyman and is a single-level limestone structure with large glass walls for the former president and his wife Laura Bush to enjoy the beautiful scenery. Upon entering the residence, there are many unique details in its decoration. The living room, for example, is well lit, integrating a charming space with a vintage table near the windows where the couple likes to assemble puzzles. The kitchen has stainless steel counters, the breakfast area overlooks the garden, the office is decorated with many picture frames, and the dining area is lined with bookshelves full of books, as it integrates a living room for receiving guests. The house also has many family rooms, another dining room to meet with guests, and 4 bedrooms, among which is the suite that houses Bush's grandfather's old desk. Moving outside, the former president likes to take advantage of the garden to take pictures with his wife and political friends. There is also a beautiful green lawn around the mansion, which gives a unique charm to the place depending on the time of the year and is also great for family parties, such as the wedding of Jenna Bush, the couple's daughter. There are also verandas with sitting areas, a luxurious guest house, and a recreation area with a shaded pool, not to mention plenty of trees, beautiful flower fields, and vehicles to take on walks along the property's trails whenever you feel like it. The ranch also has a studio where George W. Bush spends a lot of time working on paintings, which have become one of his favorite hobbies since returning to Texas, and he often exhibits some of his work there. In addition to all this, the ranch is also famous for having hosted distinguished guests, such as former Danish Minister Anders Fogh Rasmussen, former German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Russian President Vladimir Putin, and various other politicians. According to some sources, the ranch was bought for the princely sum of $1.3 million, but with the improvements that have been implemented, it must be worth a lot more than this today. Another property that the former president owns in Texas is a mansion in the Preston Hollow neighborhood north of Dallas, located in an exclusive area where he can live safely. The property is an 8,500 square foot red brick residence situated on a beautiful 1.15 acre lot, where he and his wife have been seen before. Little is known about the interior space, but through some old photos, it can be seen that the rooms are quite spacious and cozy, containing 4 cozy bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms. And although no one knows how much the mansion was bought for, in 2007 it was valued at around $3.95 million. Cars. George West Bush loves to drive sturdy and comfortable vehicles and owns an impressive collection of cars. He has, for example, been seen with a 2008 Ford Edge Limited, a mid-size SUV with a sleek design, which can cost up to $30,000. George W. Bush has also been spotted getting out of a 2007 Chevrolet Suburban LT 2500, a well-equipped vehicle powered by a V8 engine that produces about 352 horsepower. And the price for a car of this model is around $36,000. He also seems to have ridden in a Chevrolet Tahoe, a high-performance SUV that can comfortably carry up to 9 people. The interior of this car has great finishes for passenger comfort and, of course, has many technology features. And for those who want to buy a vehicle like this, you have to pay about $52,000. George W. Bush has also taken a ride with Vladimir Putin in a Volga GAZ-21, an elegant sedan produced by the manufacturer GAZ, considered a symbol of the Soviet automobile industry by collectors. And depending on its condition, a car of this model can cost more than $60,000. Another car that is part of George W. Bush's collection is a Ford F-250, a large pickup truck with a large towing capacity. This vehicle is ideal for heavy-duty work on demanding roads and can carry up to 6 passengers in its interior space. And it's no wonder that a pickup truck like this costs an average of $70,000. Raising the price higher, another car that George W. Bush had in his garage was a 2013 Ford F-150 King Ranch, a sophisticated pickup truck, great for traversing more challenging terrain, and this is a very popular vehicle among truck enthusiasts. The interior of the pickup truck is capable of offering plenty of comfort to the passengers, with a high standard of Tuscan leather upholstery, as well as having the former president's signature. And as reported by the media, George W. Bush's pickup truck was put up for a charity auction and was sold for $300,000. He also once owned a Ford Mustang Shelby GT350, a high-performance sports car, whose engine is capable of producing 526 horsepower and accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4 seconds. According to some sources, the former president's car, which also bore his signature, was auctioned for $700,000. The most impressive car he has ridden in, on the other hand, was the 2006 Cadillac DTS limousine, the official vehicle of the President of the United States. Nicknamed the Beast, the car Bush rode in was specifically customized for his comfort and safety. To give you an idea, more recent versions of this vehicle come with super armor capable of withstanding even a missile, weighing around 8 tons, and equipped with a V8 engine to carry so much weight. And it is no wonder that the vehicle costs around $1.5 million. Exaggerated luxuries. It is no surprise to anyone that a politician as powerful as George W. Bush has more than enough money to enjoy a lot of luxury and comfort. But when it comes to dressing up, for example, he likes to wear good, cheap watches, such as $50 Timex Easy Reader leather strap, $60 Timex Easy Reader George W. Bush, $65 Timex Easy Reader T2N384. The most expensive watch in his collection seems to be a Timex Indiglo customized with his name and the US flag, which is valued at least $3,000. George W. Bush often uses high-end private aircraft to get around to different places. On his arrival in Sarasota, the former president was seen stepping out of a Gulfstream GIVSP, a sleek, high-performance business jet capable of reaching a top speed of 560 miles per hour and boasting a luxurious interior space that comfortably accommodates 14 people. This beautiful aircraft of the intercontinental range also has a modern galley and a compact bathroom sprinkled with luxury. And during his trip, the former president used the N427SA, which can be chartered for an average of $6,000 per hour. There is speculation that Bush has also traveled on a Samsung Group executive jet of the Boeing business jet 737 model. This aircraft with an intercontinental range is more than 100 feet long and is capable of accommodating about 19 passengers. And to rent such a jet you have to pay around $13,000 per flight hour. The most impressive aircraft that George W. Bush had at his disposal while serving as President of the United States was an aircraft known as Air Force One, model Boeing VC-25, a military version of the Boeing 747, adapted to serve the nation's head of state. Being embossed in blue and white colors with United States of America emblazoned on the side, this plane is capable of providing all the safety and comfort one can imagine. Inside, the president and his traveling companions enjoy 4,000 square feet of space on 3 levels, including a large president's suite, which is equipped with a large office. The plane is also capable of refueling in the air, which provides unlimited range, being able to transport the president wherever he needs to travel. And of course, to enjoy all of this, there is a high cost to the state coffers. It is estimated that just 1 hour of flight in the aircraft costs around $210,000. Business. Besides being a powerful politician, George W. Bush is a businessman who has several sources of income. Before starting his career as a politician, he spent years investing in oil and gas exploration, a company that was merged and later sold. Another big business deal for George W. Bush was becoming co-owner of the Texas Rangers baseball team, which earned him a few million by the end of the 1990s. He also founded the George W. Bush Presidential Center at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, which includes a library and museum with exhibits about the country's 43rd president, as well as housing the offices of the George W. Bush Institute. The former president has also begun to invest in a career as an author, having already published a few books, the main ones being A Charge to Keep, Decision Points, and Portraits of Courage, a Commander-in-Chief's tribute to America's warriors. Over the years, he has also started consulting and speaking engagements to share his knowledge of government and other global issues, which probably earns him a lot of money. And because he has been involved in so many ventures, we can say that George W. Bush has become a successful man in the business world. Net worth. Being considered one of the great politicians of the United States, there's no doubt that George W. Bush earned a lot of money throughout his career. While working as a pilot in the Texas Air National Guard, the former president was paid about $8,000 a year in the 1970s, something like $53,200 today, if we adjust the infraction calculation. In politics, George W. Bush was governor of the U.S. state of Texas for 2 terms, and it is estimated that he earned $115,300 per year, which is about $1.2 million in total. As President of the United States, George W. Bush took office in 2001, and in addition to receiving a $50,000 expense account, he was the first to earn an annual salary of $400,000, adding up to $3.2 million over the 8 years he was in power. In addition, under the former Presidents of the United States Act, outgoing politicians are entitled to certain benefits, among which is a lifetime pension. In 2022 alone, it is estimated that George W. Bush earned approximately $238,000. But his fortune is not only about his salaries holding political positions. This is because before he was governor and president, he was a big businessman involved in various businesses. As CEO and director of the family-owned oil and gas company, for example, it is speculated that George W. Bush made about $75,000 per year, as well as holding more than $1 million in stock in the enterprise. As a partner in the Texas Rangers, the former president initially invested $500,000 in the team, and when he sold his stake in 1998, he made an incredible $15 million. And although no one knows for sure how much of his fortune George W. Bush has amassed over the years, some sources estimate that the former president currently has a net worth of $50 million. Hey, you like the video? So don't forget about leave your like and comment, and tell some suggestions of another videos, and hopefully we gonna do it. All about channel Dios to satisfy your curiosity.